In this video, I actually want to touch on the topic of, is assisted living too saturated? Is it something that you guys should get into due to the saturation, due to the demand, due to the supply, etc.? So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys stick around. What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have shown this channel. If you guys haven't yet, go check out the academy that I've actually released about a month ago. I will link it down below for you guys to go check it out. I will no longer be accepting anybody into the Facebook group unless you're a student or you were grandfathered into the Facebook group. So guys, I apologize for that. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and actually jump into the topic of this video. Now, this topic has been brought up time and time again, and people have been asking me, Serge, is the assisted living industry too saturated for me to get into? Is it something either worth doing due to the fact that there are already too many homes in my area? There's all these big box facilities. There's all kinds of different things going up due to the fact that the demand of assisted living is getting greater and it's going higher and higher every single year. And so for that reason, there's a lot of these homes being open. There's a lot of these big box facilities being open, etc. So guys, due to the fact that, yes, is there a saturation in the market? In specific areas, there can be quite a bit of saturation. For instance, there's certain zip codes here in the city of Phoenix, such as Scottsdale. Scottsdale is probably the most saturated area, if not the West Valley. The West Valley is consisted of Peoria. It's consisted of Surprise. That whole area is very saturated as well. And why is that? So Scottsdale is obviously, as a lot of people know, is a very high-end area. It's where a lot of people go to retire. It's where just overall it's a great city, right? And that is somewhere where the finances of the average income is a lot higher than other zip codes in the city of Phoenix. So therefore, a lot of people have opened up residential assisted living homes in those areas, and they're pretty much, for the most part, stacked on top of each other. I mean, you could drive literally through Scottsdale, and I could point out where all the care homes are in Scottsdale due to the fact that it is so saturated. And saturation isn't necessarily a bad thing. The way I look at it is, because there is saturation in that area, it's going to make you, as a care homeowner, become more creative with the way you market, with the services that you provide. With everything that's out there, guys, you always have to get creative in the way that you actually market your business. For instance, if you're, the coffee industry, right? There's, I look at Dutch Bros, right? Why would someone go to Dutch Bros compared to Starbucks, or vice versa? Right? They both have completely different vibes. They have completely different atmospheres, for instance. And due to the fact that the hype of Dutch Bros compared to Starbucks is a lot higher, people like to go, a lot younger people like to go to Dutch Bros compared to Starbucks. And they just created this, environment where it feels like that. And that's what essentially separates Dutch Bros. And Dutch Bros has a way bigger menu, a variety of different drinks, different things you can get compared to Starbucks. Now, Starbucks has its signature drinks that people just love, and they know that Starbucks will only make that drink that they love, and Dutch Bros won't be able to even compare. So people will ultimately, and then on top of that, with Dutch Bros, you got something like Black Rock Coffee, right? That's my personal favorite, is Black Rock. I love all three, but mainly Black Rock is my go-to. So why Black Rock? Why would anybody go to Black Rock compared to Dutch Bros or Starbucks? Same exact reason, guys. It's because they market themselves completely different. They have their own completely different style. They have everything completely different. So when you're in an area that's saturated, what are you going to do in order to make your care home different? Are you going to have a cleaner house? Are you going to have a more contemporary style? Are you going to provide different services or activities for your residents? What are you going to do to stand out and be different? And that's why I like the idea of, I wouldn't say competition, but saturation, because it makes you become more creative. It's going to put you in a position where you do have to be different. And if you're not going to be different, you're not going to have much success, and you're going to eventually not get your beds filled. So, guys, understand that. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time, especially if you start from the ground up and you don't buy an existing business. When it comes to the saturation and you go into an area and you buy an existing business that's already established in that area, yes, it's going to help out a lot more due to the fact that it has a reputation, due to the fact that people know that that care home is there. And if the previous owners did a good job of marketing their home and getting those beds filled, and they have a history of great care and great staff, they're going to do great, and you're going to do great as the new owner as long as you're implementing what they're teaching you and their systems and everything. So, guys, due to the fact that saturation is something that a lot of people worry about, I wouldn't necessarily, if you go into it with the wrong mindset and you all you look at is just the numbers and you're just a numbers guy. Don't get me wrong, I'm a numbers guy. I love looking to see how I'm performing, what my P&L looks like, what my, everything of that, my balance sheet, all that. I like looking at all that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to how you personally go about it and how you have the right mindset going into it. Because yes, I like to look at facts too, and a lot of people will say facts are everything. Opinion is put that aside. That doesn't really matter as much, and I believe that 100%. But look at all the facts, but then at the end of the day, you have to make that sound decision if you want to go forward with the deal or if you don't, and if you want to start. So in my area, for instance, I do have somewhat, like, it's not crazy saturated, but at the same time, there are homes in that area. And how am I going to stand out, compared to those other homes? I oftentimes don't even look at my competition or the other homes that are in my area. I don't bother. I don't care to. I'm more focused on, my home, getting my beds filled, doing what I need to do, and trying to better my business every single day, and keep my business afloat every single day. So I don't ever really look at what the other homes are doing around me, because at the end of the day, that's irrelevant. That's just more stress that I'm bringing onto myself. And I want you guys to understand that when it comes to saturation, and that's such a big question, and it's something so many people worried about. When I got into this industry and I started out, I didn't even do any market research. Like, I did nothing. I didn't do any market analysis. I kind of just jumped straight into it. I kind of had an idea of what I'd make, but I also didn't have any idea what I was going to make. So, I went just balls to the wall, and I just learned along the way and figured it out along the way. And that is, a lot of people would say that's very risky, which I would agree. But the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, because I was so focused on succeeding and getting my home up and going that I didn't have time to worry about all these other questions and all these other, things that everybody's worrying about, right? What about this? What about that? I wasn't really worried about that. What I was worried about was getting my home up and going and filling those beds, doing everything necessary to get those beds filled. Whatever it required me to do, I went and did it. And I didn't stop at anything, and I won't stop at anything. And that's just my mindset and how I look at everything. I look at everything with, glass half full, right? I look at everything, I'm realistic about it, but I also don't think too much about it, because I feel like too many of you guys out there have analysis paralysis, right? And you look at everything and you get all this knowledge, but then you're so overwhelmed that you just don't even end up starting, because now you have all these questions brewed up in your head about, well, what about that? How do I go about this? What if this comes up? What if that comes up? Guys, just handle what you have to handle step by step, and cross each bridge as it comes. Don't start trying to make bridges that you don't even need to make bridges for yet. Okay, there's a lot of situations and problems that you guys will have to worry about down the road, but that's just part of business, and that's just part of the whole industry. Vacancies. Deal with vacancies when that time comes. Too many people ask me all the time. Like saturation, for instance, is something that I think if you overthink, you're never going to start. And it's smart to look at what's going on in that area, because at the same time, I know of group homes that started in Scottsdale where it's super saturated, and they had great success with it. And so, I came into a market that is semi-saturated. I wouldn't say it's very to the point where there's homes on every corner, but I still went in there and I just focused on myself. I focused on my home, like I said, and have, got my home up and going and got those beds filled and continue to get those beds filled. That's one thing that people are worried about. What if I can't get my beds filled? Or, there's a home down the road who's like full for the most part, and I can't get my beds even close to being filled. Well, that's when you're going to have to rethink your strategy. That's when you're going to have to do some different things, to get those beds filled. Whatever it is, rehost an open house, do some other things to get people to come by your home and to, get your community aware of, that you have a care home there. Don't be afraid. And so, saturation, guys, I would tell you right now, is nothing that is new. It's always been part of business. It's always going to be part of business, no matter what, no matter what industry you end up getting into. Whether it's assisted living, whether it's having your own coffee shop, whether it's starting your own restaurant, whatever the case may be, guys, it's always going to be there. Saturation is just part of it. Nowadays people are starting up businesses left and right, and they're a lot. That's why the statistic is that, like, I think it's 99%. I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of business, like 9 out of 10 businesses, fail due to the fact that there's so many being started all the time every year. I think this year, just in Phoenix, there were like I believe 40 new applications for care homes. So guys, that's 40 new people coming in trying to start a care home, which is great. We need all the supply that we can get in order to fill the demand that's coming up. And so that's great. But a lot of people, including myself, I would say including myself, quit too early. I wanted to quit multiple times, but I didn't, and I stuck through it, and I continued to persevere. Too many people quit too early before they can even get started, right? Even if it's not getting a home, or finding the right property, you guys quit way before you guys even get started. The hardest thing is half of the work is just getting started. The remaining half is just keeping yourself afloat and getting all that other stuff in place. And so, with that being said, guys, understand that saturation is just part of the territory. Understand that there's not much you can do about it. You just have to stick to what you know. Continue to educate yourself. Continue to improve yourself, improve your home, improve your business, and therefore you'll ultimately have much success with it. But if you want to start questioning yourself and start having all these doubts, looking at all the things that you shouldn't necessarily be too worried about right now, but if you overwhelm yourself and have analysis paralysis, you're probably never going to start or have any success with it. But guys, if this video inspired you guys and motivated you guys, make sure to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to smash that subscribe button for me, guys, and go watch all these other videos if you haven't yet. And so, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support, and I will see you guys all in the next video. God bless. Peace.